looking for a wonderful casserole to make on Christmas morning, I've got the answer for you. So we are making a potato casserole. I'm using a bag that's a little bit smaller than your average bag of frozen hash browns. This is 20 ounces. So you're gonna need some frozen hash browns, or I suppose you could use fresh, or you could use the dehydrated that a lot of us have in our pantry. You're gonna need a cream of chicken soup. You're gonna need some diced ham. And you're gonna need some cheese of your choice. A lot of the recipes call for sliced onion or diced onion, but we're gonna use green onion instead of white. And then sour cream. I will leave the recipe in the description box. You're also gonna wanna have the spices of your choice just to season it up. And I think the original recipe calls for butter, but I don't think that's necessary. I've made it without it and it's perfect, and I'm gonna show you what I do instead. Then you're gonna need a corn or rice cereal. I use Chex. You can use Corn Flakes or whatever. Sometimes we even just use the French fried onion toppers that you put on a green bean casserole. But first, what you're gonna wanna do is mix everything but the hash browns. So I'm gonna open my cream of chicken soup. Hi, Layla. You wanna help? Alright, I'm gonna wait for that to come out, and then gonna take our ham. This was already an open package. We're just gonna finish what we've got. No guys, this is not for y'all this time. This is actually for us. Has the liquid been drained off the ham?
I don't think so.
Okay, let me see, hold on. You wanna get that liquid out of there? Actually, that might kinda taste good in the casserole. Alright, so that came out. Got the soup and the ham. We've already grated the cheese, and I believe this is around 6 ounces. We're not really using precise measurements today because this is kind of a smaller bag of hash browns. This is 20 ounces, and I think most are quite a bit bigger, like 32 ounces. And you don't need to wait for this to thaw completely, although if you can thaw it to where it's not like a brick, that will help. So this needs to go a little longer. And the sour cream. I love these squeezy things. Okay, I'm just gonna do a dollop of, don't make fun of me. I say dollop all the time, because I don't measure things. Really, recipes are all about doing your own preference. I would say that might be 1/4 to 1/2 cup. All right, and then I'm gonna just add the seasonings that we like best. So here is some garlic and herb. I would say if y'all had the Hashbrown casserole at Cracker Barrel, this is like an elevated version of that. So again, you can use white onion like they use, or in our case, we're gonna use some of the green onions that we've been growing. I am gonna put some dehydrated chopped onions in here though. It's kind of hard to mess up this recipe. I know I say that in most of my videos. You just put as much or as little seasoning as you want. We're gonna do some granulated garlic. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of pepper. And I can't remember if I said, but you're gonna turn your oven to 350 and it's gonna bake for about an hour uncovered. Now I like everything to taste a little bit smoky, So I'm going to put some smoked sea salt. Ooh, Nelly. Okay. I've got my little four-legged helpers in the kitchen with me in case you can't hear them. And then I am just going to cut some of these green onions, let them fall in my casserole dish here, or not. Okay, let me just do this instead. I'm going to just hold this over my mixing bowl. And I would say that I'm using, I'm not good at measurements here. This is probably going to be 1/4 cup, if even that. This just kind of gives it a little bit of flavor and a whole lot of pretty color. Here we go. There's probably an easier way. I probably should have laid this on a cutting board or something, but I'm trying to just show y'all what I'm doing here. And if y'all have any favorite Christmas casserole recipes, please share them in the comment section below. I'm always looking for something. We might do like a French toast casserole in the slow cooker, or I think there's some good egg recipes out there like quiches and stuff. My mom makes a really good asparagus quiche. I might try to do that in the slow cooker overnight. But anyway, just to recap, let me come around here. So we've got our sour cream, our cheese, our ham, our green onions, and then our soup mixture. You just want to mix that all together. I'm just flinging stuff everywhere. I probably should use a wooden spoon instead of this rubber spatula. I am notorious, if y'all go look at any of my videos, I have a tendency to use the wrong utensils at all times. So I'm going to get this mixed up. I'm going to let the hash browns kind of thaw out a little bit, and I will be right back, okay? Don't go anywhere. Okay, just to recap, I am going to put a little bit of melted butter. I melted about 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just going to pour that into the mixture. The reason is, I don't know if it's because it's so cold right now, but it's kind of a little bit difficult to mix this up. But it's okay. It doesn't have to be mixed perfectly, because you are going to just pour this over the frozen hash browns, and then when the oven's heated up, it's going to kind of melt. Everything's going to go in place. But I just wanted to be able to give this a good mix. And I will add this modification to the description box, but it's basically just going to look like a hot mess. If you could smell it though, this smells really, really good. And when it's baking in the oven, it smells even better. So Corey had to run the hash browns under the hot water because we're really having a hard time here. It's just really cold today. So
they're frozen like a rock.
Frozen like a rock. Okay, we shall be back shortly. Okay, tray places. Grand Central Station.
Spiced apple tea in the morning is good for you.
Okay, I forgot to mention, or maybe I did say, I don't remember. You can use, yeah, I said you can use any kind of hash brown you want. We're just happen to be using the shredded ones, and we had to run it under some hot water because it was literally just a brick. And but it's okay if it's not completely thawed out. That's fine. Again, when it's cooking, everything's going to go where it's supposed to. So just 1 second. Boy, the struggle is real. So, I'm going to go ahead and just grease my cookie sheet with a dollop of olive oil. Yes, I said dollop again. What are you doing? Are you rearranging furniture? Oh, lost the remote again. Okay, so hash browns going in. You can actually, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of, you can literally just dump the mixture on top of the hash browns, but just to get it completely mixed, I am going to put it in that bowl and just mix it together. I hope y'all can hear me. I feel like y'all are really far away over there. My cameraman is on strike. So you want to get this mixed up, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, it's going to all, when you put it in the oven, all the ingredients are going to go where they're supposed to. Okay, so I'm just going to put it back in here. This is literally one of my top 5 favorite casseroles ever. Okay. And then you just want to kind of spread it around your pan. So, do y'all come here often?
Only when you're serving food.
Only when I'm putting a video out, I guess. Alright, so that's pretty decent. It's close enough. Alright, so talking and doing anything is not my forte. I can't do both at the same time. So let me come on over and show you. So it just looks like that. Just a big old sloppy mess. But I'm telling you, it's going to be delicious. So I'm just going to sprinkle some Chex Mix. This is for a recipe we're going to be doing here soon. Whoops. I've got Chex pieces flying all over the place. And this is one of those meals, it's delicious for breakfast. It's got all the breakfast ingredients. And it's delicious for lunch and dinner too. So just measure out whatever you want to measure out, or just dump it on top like I do, just to make sure everything's covered. And just so these don't get terribly burned, just going to spray a little bit of olive oil. This is where I think the recipe calls for more butter, but I'm just going to do a sprig of olive oil. And then into the oven we go, 350 for an hour. We'll be back. About. Until then, we wait, and I have some coffee. Okay, so we've waited about as long as we're willing to wait because we're starving. So I'm going to plate this up. Smells so good. Alright. Just a little taste. And then my sweet thing, he likes to put Carolina Reaper Buc-ee's Tabasco sauce. Is it Tabasco or hot sauce? My bad, just hot sauce. I don't eat the stuff, so
Good stuff.
this is good enough.
Buc-ee's.
Yeah, this is good enough on its own. You don't need to put anything else on it. But he puts that mess on everything. See that steam coming up? Alright, let's see what we think of this, babe.
I think it's hot.
Alright, that's gonna be too hot for you. You might want to wait a second. I eat things right out of the oven. I mean, I'm constantly heating things up longer than everybody else. This is so good. Like I said, this is probably one of my top 5 favorite casserole is hot. I told you.
Yeah, it's
But
really good.
he never listens to me. Anyway,
Seasonings, perfect. I love it.
thank you very much. So this is a really easy recipe to throw together, and I'm going to challenge myself one day, and I'm going to make a pantry.
More sauce.
There's like something slippery right here. I'm trying to balance on my elbow. I'm going to try to make a shelf-stable version of this one day because I've got those little hash browns, dehydrated hash browns that are in a carton. And then I've got my, I've got some Augustin Farms cheese, plus I have the Hickory Farms, or whatever you call it, that cheese, that's shelf-stable too. And then we've got the
sour cream powder.
We've got sour cream powder. We have dehydrated green onion. What else does it call for? We got dehydrated butter. And then the Chex mix, or Corn Flakes, or whatever you want to use. So, oh, and then the ham. We tried dehydrating ham before. It was a hot mess. I don't know what we did wrong, but we do have some Virginia ham that is shelf stable. So yeah, we'll use that. But anyway, this is delicious. Consider this on Christmas morning. I bet you have all these ingredients in your pantry already. I will leave a recipe down below, and I hope y'all are having a Merry Christmas and a great break, and Happy New Year, and
Really, really tasty.
we'll talk to you
Start
soon.
the day off right.
All right, take care.
You can probably use the remote.